Howdy, 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 my name is Anashi Sasuke, and welcome back to Prequel, or Making a Cat Cry the Adventure. I apologize how long it's been since the last time we did an episode of this. It's easier to say I'm lazy than it is to say depression is a bitch. So, in the last episode, I believe Katia got some backup. Is it Katia or Katia? It's probably supposed to be Katia, but there's only one T in it. So, we're gonna go fight some goblins or gnomes or whatever. So JP wrote, you should probably make some sort of battle plan before you rush in there and get yourself killed. Also, is the store owner even going to let you kill the imps? I mean, she said she wanted professionals. Right. You refocus on the task at hand. Even with Rajira's help, you're going to need a battle plan. Excuse me. You're pretty sure the shopkeeper will accept your help if you offer it? Since it sounds like she wants those imps gone, and you remember her mentioning the fighter's guild was really expensive. Boop. And if she's looking for a professional, Rajira is a professional. She just has help from you. Sure, you guess she could say no and hire professional fighters anyway, but you're trying not to dwell on all the things that could go wrong. Dwelling on all the things that might go wrong is at least the 5th item down on your list of things to do. This is your first potentially real job in Kavash, and you gotta stroll on in there confident and collected, not full of doubts. And if you're going to show the shopkeeper that you and Rajira are professionals who can handle this, you're going to need to show her the specific tactics and ideas you have in mind. Exka wrote, tie something heavy to the end of a rope and make an improvised bludgeoning flail thingy. Okay, maybe you'll not show her that one. You're pretty sure that one is a terrible idea and will only end in pain and disaster. You guess the current plan is that Rajira and you will burst into the room, do the scary Khajiit stare thing to scare the imps back out the window, and then close it or block it or something so they don't come back in. This should work fine, assuming there are only 2 imps up there and you each scare a different one. If there's a third, you can appropriate some shields for defense, and Rajira's spear should be enough to poke it to death, you guess. And if there's somehow even more, then Nero97 wrote, you chased off a whole bunch of imps in the ruin. This is just one and you're not alone. Curly Horned Argonian wrote, Katia, go over the plan with Rajira so that you two can be prepared for whatever might happen. Build each other's courage, or something like that. We know you two will succeed on this quest mission thing. Citromsk. That person wrote, Katia, roll for small talk with Rajira. Add charisma modifiers. Inevitably fail roll due to addition of negative modifiers. Scoot. You scamper over to Rajira and ask her what the plan is. You assume the 2 of you are going to scare the imps away with your Khajiit magic if there are just 2 of them, but if there are more hiding up there, then you guess you'll eye of fear the nearest 2, and then you'll take point and bring up shields while Rajira spears any imps that rush you? Unless she has a better idea? She tells you that she's planning to go in there, run the imps out or through, and get a reward. For both of your sakes, she hopes you'll pull your weight and aren't useless. You swear to her you're not. You just want to make sure you know exactly what's going down, so you don't make any mistakes or stuff. Not that you usually make mistakes, you're just trying to make sure this goes well, like, come up with tactics. Rajira tells you not to get yourself killed and try not to get in each other's way. You admit those are both valid combat strategies. Yeah, you'll do that. Tony wrote, get super hyped about the inevitable imp beatdown that's totally gonna happen. Working together also. That's pretty neat. Mr. Singh wrote, note the beauty in how killing dangerous wildlife brings people together. You have to admit it is kind of exciting. Not only are you about to embark on an actual job to earn actual money, but you're working with someone, not someone's pity trust, or with someone's supervision, but with an equal. Well, maybe not an equal, but a 70-30 equal is still better than you're used to. Sure, scaring little bat demons isn't the most glamorous thing in the world, and you're not sure how much your partner likes you, but still, she seems reliable, and you're pretty sure the 2 of you have thought this through enough that it won't backfire disastrously. Majeh wrote, Katia, apologize to Rajira for being so awkward, and while you're at it, seeing as she was in a similar situation as you when she came to town, ask her for some advice to getting back on your feet and staying there. Why would you assume that? Illogic Tree wrote, Katia, try sharing some of your life experiences with Rajira. Maybe if she understands where you're coming from and sees that the 2 of you aren't so different, she'd be more kindly disposed towards you. That picture looks like she's going to run her through with that fish spear, fishes included. Yeah, fishes is the plural. To break the ice a little, you decide to tell Rajira a bit about yourself. You explain that you just came to Cyrodiil about a week ago, trying to set out and make a new life. You've been trying to make some deliveries to Kavash for a good friend of yours, though the first time you sort of got robbed on your way there, and the second time you, got robbed after you arrived. You guessed when you came here you weren't expecting so much robbery. This one has never noticed it, Rajira says. Perhaps the problem is with you. You admit that you might have made some mistakes in that regard, like trusting the wrong people or maybe drinking copious quantities of the wrong things at the wrong time, but you still... Rajir cuts you off, saying she's not interested in your excuses. She means a problem with your expectations. You said you came to Cyrodiil seeking new life. Such implies an old life. Yes? Yes, I had one, but it wasn't one I wanted. Rarely life is, Rajira says, but whatever life you held back in your homeland, it seemingly let you last this long, and presumably involved less risk, failure, and tediously inconvenienced friends. Perhaps in this old life you had found the high extent of your abilities, and there is only folly in these attempts to move beyond it or pursue some flawed human conception of dignity. I don't... Hey! First of all, that's dismal and stupid. You're stupid. Second of all, it's not a human conception of dignity. It's a pretty elven and Argonian one too. And third, you moved to Cyrodiil too. You said so yourself. Rajira specifies that she didn't move to Cyrodiil, she fled to Cyrodiil. A functional Khajiit runs away from danger, not headlong towards it, and she's not stupid, she's a realist. She has no delusions of gaining great respect in human lands and becoming some fairy tale princess living in a castle. I'm not trying to become a... Look, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you stupid. This is just something I care about. Are we still friends? We were never friends, Rajira says. Okay, but like... Are we less friends than we were before? No, she says. I'll take it. Raget wrote, if you're going to break into a building, Raja suggests using your friend to boost you up to a window. Most places don't lock the upstairs window. Rin wrote, you're too Khajiit going to a closed business in the dead of night. If that won't arouse suspicion from everyone going about at night, like your guards. The locals are a lot more trusting than I believe. Oh my gods! Just because the two of you are Khajiit doesn't mean you're going to break into the place. See? She knows you're here and what you're doing. Everything is legal and fine. You put on your best formal face and tell the shopkeeper that you're here to inquire about a job. Specifically, a job regarding those imps in her attic. You explain that you and your acquaintance have a plan to get them out, assuming she still needs them out and is paying. The shopkeeper nods and says you came just in time. If you can go any lower than the 200 septums, Mr. Fighter's Guild over there is asking for the job is yours. You ask if 199 septums is okay. She asks if maybe you could go a little lower to account for any inventory losses. You ask her what she means. You know, she says, things that might get damaged if you fight the imps. Oh, so that's what you assume she meant, and nothing else. Let's say 190. The shopkeeper asks what your plans are. You explain the two of you are going to enter the attic like a pair of respectable Khajiit, and then tackle the problem head on, like Khajiit, or any of the other races in Cyrodiil. Another idea wrote, moving all those boxes and chairs away from the stairs would make a lot of noise, but leaving it there would mean blocking an exit if you decide to use a window. Maybe one of you could climb up and scout the attic, and then tie a rope to climb down with and make a plan. Yep. Just like a pair of Khajiit. Cider, all of the good panels, and Squiggles, all of the good inking. Alcatraz wrote, what is Rajir doing? She got mad at you for taking rope that nobody really owned it. And now she's doing something kind of shady looking? Yeah, because that's what she's doing right now, not totally a racial stereotype. Muphius wrote, wait! Aren't we trying to get the imps to go out through the window? The window Katia clone is going to climb into? Stop her! Wouldn't it be better to go in through the door, have the imps' attention and eye contact, and shoo them out? Whoa, you hiss. What are you doing? Rajira tells her that she's climbing up to the window. Yeah, you notice, but like, people are watching? The shopkeeper's right over there, watching you right now. And if you ask, she'd probably let you use the stairs like an ordinary. Rajira cuts you off with a glare, clarifies that she's climbing up to the window for reconnaissance, so you can see what you're up against before you go barging headlong into the room. The only thing she's planning to steal is a quick glance through the window. Oh, you say that? Yeah, that's not what you thought was going on here. Rajira says she's going to assume climbing now unless it has a better idea. Alex wrote, Katia used 2 mirrors and telekinesis to construct an invisible periscope, look into the room from a safe distance to assess the situation. Actually, yeah, you do. You tell her to hold on a minute. You have an idea that should let the two of you scout out the room without being seen, without any potentially dangerous climbing, and without looking like some kind of thief. It'll be really cool and involves magic, you'll see. You scurry over to the shopkeeper and ask her if she has any hand mirrors. She tells you no, explaining that most of her cosmetic supplies are up in the 2nd floor storage room. You ask her if she has any other reflective things, like a very polished piece of metal or something. No, she tells you, the townsmith is the main supplier of metal goods. You ask her if she has any kind of dark glass, or shiny rock, or anything else small or reflective that you could borrow from it. No, she replies, like she just said, her stock on that sort of stuff is somewhat limited at the moment. Never mind, just keep doing what you were doing. Venom Cupcake wrote, Katia, ask the shopkeeper if there are any extra shields and or weaponry around. You'll probably need it. Pajal wrote, now would be a good time to discuss pre-purchasing a weapon or shield from the shopkeeper, deducted from our future cut. Better to have a weapon now when we need it than gold later if we succeed. She'd pay us less, make a sale, and get rid of the imps, and we'd have a weapon or shield to better face the imps. It's a win-win. You try to alleviate some of the awkwardness by striking up a conversation with the shopkeeper. You explain that, despite being a trained professional who can totally handle this, you're looking to make this as safe as possible, and you're wondering if you could, like, pre-buy some supplies for this, using the money that you'll get after you finish it. She points out that she's a shopkeeper, not a banker, and doesn't usually deal in loading things out. You know, but you'll have the money right as soon as you're done, and your chances of getting those imps out for less than the Fighters Guild will be a lot better if you have a weapon, or a shield, or something. Shopkeeper finally shrugs and says she supposes she can make an exception. After all, she's not making any money with half her wares being held hostage upstairs. This is a general store, she explains. So she doesn't have a whole lot in terms of weapons and armor, but if she remembers right, you're a mage, or at least a talkative wannabe. And she does have a few spell crooks on hand. Where do I get crooks from? Scrolls on hand. From left to right here, she has a basic healing spell, a skeleton summoning spell, a low-tier shock resistance. She has a scroll of invisibility too, though that one will eat up almost your entire half of the reward. Right, you say. Your entire half. You admit that you've never used a magic scroll before. Am I supposed to study it and learn the spell, or does it magically teach me what I need to know, or... It's just magically charged paper, she says. Mages back west tend to use wands. These are the same thing, but more disposable. An enchanter already formed the spell and imbued it with the necessary magicka. You just need to peel off the safety sticker, read the release phrase off the scroll, and let it out. It's not hard. Even a parrot can do it. Huh. Yeah, that's the thing about it. You remember reading that was one of the reasons they've been wiping all the birds out. So, how much money are we talking for magic scrolls like this? The shopkeeper says there's not a lot of demand for magic supplies like I've she'll probably be sitting on these for a while if she doesn't ditch them now. That's 20 centimes each sound. You, you'll definitely consider it. You should run the idea by your partner first, and make sure it doesn't conflict with anything she has planned. You thank her again for the help and promise you and your friend will have these imps handled in the shop accessible again before she can say impless. Implish, she says. You tell her it was a figure of speech. This is going to take like half an hour at least. Meh. Ask the Fighters Guild member if there are any hard feelings with how you and your friend totally scored the job, and now he's just gotta sit back and watch you be all professional. No hard feelings at all, he says. Your boldness is admirable, and he looks forward to seeing what you can do. Oh, you say. Thanks, you guess. You tell the Fighter Guild that you're sorry, and you hope you didn't take the job he really needed or anything like that. He tells you it's no big deal, really. Uber Taxi 642 wrote, use your tactical advantage of going through the window to get the drop on them. They'll never see you coming. Once Rogier's back down, the rope, you ask her what she saw. She tells you that they're just two small imps, wouldn't be difficult for either of you alone. You nod and ask if there are any more preparations she wants to make before going upstairs and dealing with them. Personally, you were thinking about pre-buying some spell scrolls, just in case. Is that a thing she'd be interested in too? The shopkeeper said they could be used by anyone, not just wizardy people. Rogier tells you that really she's only interested in getting paid and getting out of here. Right now she has to start clearing a path towards that barricade to get up the stairs, since you apparently didn't even start on that while she was scouting. You tell her you're sorry, you're just trying really hard to make sure nothing goes wrong here. She repeats herself slowly, saying the imp shouldn't be difficult for either of you alone. The two of you have a match in numbers and superiority in tactics, and she's completely certain this won't be a tenth as difficult as you're making it out to be. You tell her you really hope it isn't, because you're tired of situations always taking a turn for the worse when you enter them. She puts on a reassuring scowl and tells you to stop expecting the worst out of everything. You ask her why, because things usually turn out for the best. No, she replies, because it's annoying to listen to well-manicured kittens whine about how miserable their lives are. Dang. Alcatraz wrote, they don't seem to be too well manicured. In fact, they seem just fine, nice and sharp, excellent for clawing or scratching an imp to death if things go way south. Okay, imagine you're in a dark alley late at night all alone, except suddenly, you're not alone! A dark figure flows out from the shadows. You can make out that he's a cloaked man at about the same time you see the naked sword in his hand and the crossbow slung over his shoulder. He tells you to give him all your money and valuables. You won't get hurt. Your hands are ice when they reach into your pocket, shaking with fear. But then, they harden with steely anticipation. Instead of your valuables, you pull out a tiny, half-inch long dagger and wield it threateningly. Yeah, that's what claws are like. Relaine wrote, "So, does this seem like an easy job?" It does seem like an easy job, but don't let your guard down. If anything goes wrong, have a contingency plan. Eating wrote, low tier shock resistance sounded pretty good right now, seeing as you're going to a room with imps in it. The rest you can buy later when they may be useful. You still remember you running with the imps from a few days ago? Specifically, you remember the gigantic bolts of lightning they hurled at you. Your magic absorption powers might help, but with your luck, you'd still rather play it safe than sorry. With the shopkeeper's permission, you pre-buy this magic scroll of lightning shield. I owe you 20 septums, signed Katia Manigan. Just to be 100% official and professional, you write her a formal and professionally signed IOU. Professionally. With fire, apparently. Prequel in on number 1453 wrote, wait, what about the other scrolls? The shopkeeper only named 4. Yeah, the rest of the scrolls are summoning... I don't know how to say that. Xvalai? If they're anything like the Xvalai wands back home, they're way outside your price range and not really intended for combat scenarios. Sabata 2 wrote, get your butt over there and help your acquaintance clear the stairwell. Some outrageous Aquaman wrote, worry about all of the horrible things that will probably go wrong during the mission, such as the pack of imps hiding in storage crates, waiting for Khajiit to walk up the stairs so they can tear her to pieces with vicious imp claws. You let Rashira know that you bought a scroll of shock shield, you know, in case either of you need it. She flatly congratulates you and continues on clearing the stairs. Use your telekinesis to help her out a little. To make sure, you ask her if she's completely certain she only saw 2 imps up there, since you know your plan relies on there just being 2. She replies that she is. You ask how she can be if it's a storage room. Wouldn't there be barrels and stuff they could be hiding behind? Rashira says that she is. She is certain. You nod and say you don't have any reason to not believe her. You're just kind of nervous about it, since she had this thing recently where you thought everything was going good, but then it turned out just the effects of a charm potion, so you really want to change it completely. Rashira shoots you a glare that says you should stop asking if she's certain about the imps. Internet catchphrase wrote, you be very careful clearing the stairs. You're on a strict time limit. If the imps hear you coming, best case is you lost the element of surprise and the fight is to come as harder. Worst case, they come downstairs before you're ready and they hurt the shopkeeper. I doubt you'd get paid. Maybe the guy from the guild would step in and save the day, but again, you probably won't get paid. You very, very carefully sneak up the stairs, trying to keep your footsteps as light as possible. In the tense silence, you can hear your heart pounding in your ears. Rashira asks what you're doing. You tell her that you're being sneaky, so the two of you will have the element of surprise. She tells you to knock it off. She can hear you breathing down her back, and it's creepy. Sorry, you say you just want to make sure everything goes according to the plan, and there aren't any more unexpected surprises. Nothing ever goes according to the plan at a fight. It, she gestures at you, must act quickly and on intuition, and if it has the right kind of intuition, it won't die. If its reactions are poor, it will. That's a little grim and depressing, you say, but it sounds like she has experience. You ask her if she was ever a soldier. No, she says, just quick enough to think on her feet and deal with danger. 69945444507 wrote, you're doing it again. That thing where you take any potential life advancement and obsess over it so hard it crushes you in your well-manicured hands, and Rashira knows it. Just roll with it. You guess you're probably stressing over the details a little too much, yeah? You tell her you're going to talk about something else. You ask her what kind of fighting style she has. Like, you want to make sure what to expect from where she gets in there, and Rashira interrupts you to remark that she just climbed out of a well, yet somehow it manages to seem both less circular and less like a brick wall than this conversation. You tell her you're sorry, you get talky when you're nervous, but you just want to figure out if she's more of a frenzied berserker who's going to rush forward or a careful and precise... Yes, she replies, sure, those. Oh, that's... okay. Behold! Here we are! Rashira asks if you're ready or if you need a few more minutes to get lost in panicking and overthinking things. Wow, you say you already said you were sorry. Yes, she says, but every moment it delays is another moment she isn't getting paid for having endured this. Is it ready? Bloop wrote, relax. You pretty much can't fuck this up. The most they're going to do is throw lightning at you inside a wood and stone house, so nothing is going to explode or suddenly catch fire, not to mention a significant amount of whatever they throw at you will be absorbed by you. Just stick to beating them over the head with whatever heavy, non-breakable object you can control with telekinesis, and if you absolutely must use a fire spell, make sure it's a concentrated short-range attack like a flamethrower, to the eyes. Nothing that's going to fly away from you and burn the house down. The worst thing that could possibly happen to you here is that you get a little beat up / electrocuted. No pain, no gain. Main plan, simultaneous eye of blah 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 blah. Remember everything she told you about how it's going to be easy. You try to remember everything the Dark Elf Ghost taught you about witch hunting, just in case things go south. You remind yourself that if anything does go wrong, you got a scroll for protection and a well-armed partner who can back you up. You also remind yourself that this is your only your first stop tonight, and that you still got matters to attend to after this. Very important matters. You're ready. Rajira asks you why you just ruined that pair of gloves. You lie and say it was so you could get your claws out easier. You know, claw fighting, you're all about that. Enter. Jaravind wrote, Katia, remember, your role here is a support. You even can quickly return Rajira's spear to her if it will be knocked off her paws. Just follow the situation and correct it on the run. Commence final assault. Okay. Torquato wrote, watch out for any shit the imps leave on the ground after you. I fear them. Dodge the imp. Dodge the imp. Defy me. I dare you. Oh my god, punch it in the mouth. Optimus Rhyme wrote, pretty shitty pitty kitty and gritty witty city kitty, attack! The itty bitty imp committee stands no chance against you and your kitty titties. Clairvoyance wrote, Katia, you suck as Akashi and you always will. Rajira proves that. But you can still show the word what an amateur, semi-decent witch hunter with about an hour of puzzle-based training can do. Enter 2. Click the link. Run Adobe Flash, don't be like this, Firefox. Just do the thing. Should I have opened this in another window? Oh. Eye of Fear. Click. Well, that was a sound. Everything went better than expected. But yeah, oh, never mind. Greater Imp Master Murder Boss. Shock shield. Lightning resistance. Fire magic. Fuck everything! Feel the... Oh god. What am I supposed to do? I'm gonna die. I'm supposed to throw the box? This is a really sturdy box. Oh, I do have shooties. Wait, do I get my fire from getting hit? I don't seem to have a health bar. Oh, I was hitting shift like a dumb. It definitely seems like I don't die. I just... Ow. Okay. Oh, right. I'm dumb. I was hitting X. I'm supposed to be hitting C. Yeah, I've never done this before. I thought that I had been through the thing with the shopkeeper, but I have not. Also, this is a really sturdy shop. Am I supposed to just be... Get up, lady! Katia, get up! Get up. Okay, so I get a few shots in before he puts the shield up. What is that, yarn? I am so glad that I don't seem to have a health bar. Careful. The part where he shoots back? What? The part where he what? What? Oh God. Thank God for plot armor. Okay. Did I win? Your doom is impending! Ha! Ouch. Save me, box! Ow. You tried, that's the important thing. Ow. 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 Ow! Have fun? Ow. Bruh! Okay, that's working out for me. Oh no! Ouch! Aha! You killed a magical creature. It took me 364 seconds, including a 1 second penalty for each of the 84 times you were hit. So it didn't take me 364 seconds. I just got my ass kicked a little bit. So now I got to backtrack so I can get to the next page. Next page. Brutality! Katia wins! Plus 999 bonuses to me! Conch Road. Victory Screech! Ah! Katia reap the spoils. Consume the imp's heart to gain its power! Or, at least loot it for its gall. Gall! JJR wrote, now kick him in the nuts! Show him who the real boss is! Actually, if you remember the Encyclopedia of Deadly Creatures correctly, this is a lady imp and that bulges an udder. You're not going to kick an udder, that would just be weird. Shadow Sun wrote, okay, first, check if you were on fire. If so, put it out. Then check the other stuff and try not to let any more of the stuff you were meant to be protecting get burnt to cinders. Katata Fish wrote, oh shit, downstairs now! Grab water, call the guards, anything to suppress the fire. And remember, you preemptively paid insurance in the form of 10 septims just in case you broke anything, so still demand payment. It, looks like all the fires went out when the imp died, at least all the fires started by the imp's magic. There are a couple of dying embers of your own fire lying about, but nothing big enough to be a hazard. All your spells either hit the imp or went out the window. And you're pretty sure this window isn't facing the super flammable orphanage. You're just gonna kinda hope you're right about that. Anon wrote, well, Katia, you did it. How does it feel to have slayed a strong beast? Honestly, You're not sure how you're supposed to feel right now. In all the stories you've read, this is the part where the love interest is supposed to burst through the door and sweep the main character off his feet with desperate statements about how she's glad he's okay. Then the scene cuts to something else and it's left pretty vague exactly what is expected to, who's expected to mop up all the blood, or at what point the main characters are supposed to shrug off the huge battle and be like, okay, back to what we were doing before. You don't really have much reference for how this whole post-battle part is supposed to be hitting you. As for how you actually feel, well, you did it! Maybe it was a fluke, or the beefy imp's dumb fault for relying on magic without realizing you could absorb it, but for at least 100 seconds there, you were telekinetic, spell-slinging, wisecracking badass! You were like someone you'd look up to instead of who you actually are. This is like the biggest achievement of your life, and if you can keep this level of badassery up through the rest of the night, things are only going to get even better. You feel good about this, and you deserve to celebrate. If you search through those two and break creation, maybe you can find something to... Okay, that answers your question about when it's time to forget about the fight and move on. You gotta collect that bounty, hope the agreed upon 10 seconds worth of damages isn't negotiable, and finally go get your stuff back from Sigrid. Anon wrote, also, you're only sharing a third of that reward with Rajira. Waffle Headman wrote, insists that you get the 70% is only fair after what Rajira pulled. Yeah, now that might be the one place you need to do a little renegotiation. You can understand Rajira running away, especially since, as strange as it feels to admit, she was less suited to a magical fight than you were, but even then, she fed you bad information. She didn't even leave you with a weapon, and you did most of the work here. You think that deserves a little more than 30%, like at least 40. Oh right, you forgot the whole lock you in here to die thing? 45%, no lower. Gren wrote, use lockpick. Use your put your innate Khajiit thievery skills into use and make your way through that locked door. Lockpick wrote, now it's finally my time to shine. This door is barred from the other side. Katia, unscrew the handle. Use your lockpick like a screwdriver and unscrew the door handle. This thing you just did, in addition to solving nothing, had the unique effect of making this entire situation slightly more inconvenient in every conceivable way. Moons wrote, fire! Burn! Katia, do it! For fucking blast down that fucking door and then give that cat a piece of your mind. Abraham Lincoln wrote, try to use telekinesis on whatever's on the opposite side of the door. After making it through that entire fight without any of your fire spells hitting the walls, you are going to burn the building down to get through a door. If it's just something jammed through the handle, though, that should be no problem to... Oh, right. You guessed if builders hadn't foreseen this, anyone with the slightest bit of magical ability could go wherever they wanted by simply unlocking doors from the other side. From the mark on the door, you're guessing there's a silver ribbon or something running between the boards. You're more than capable of jostling the door itself with telekinesis, but the magic on the other side of it feels all weird and distorted. Telekinesis probably isn't going to help you here. Lockpick wrote, I'm not done yet! I can see 4 screws on the handle and there's gotta be hinges on the other side of this door. They're flat heads! I can unscrew them! That, on the other hand. The hinges are definitely accessible, but you don't think the lockpick could survive the 24 screws necessary to take them off. If you want to tackle the hinges, your best option will be to find something pointy and sturdy you can use to pound the pin out. Maybe a proper turn screw or a chisel. With the pins out, the disconnected door should slide right towards you. You just exploded a giant fire demon and a rule full of landmines by punching its head off with a burning fist. You felt unstoppable. You hate this wooden door so much. I guess you'll go look for some tools. Nayara wrote, looks like your gloves ran out of durability. Fancy that. Guess that makes your arena raiment illegal. Guess you won't be able to enter that dance contest now. You were so looking forward to it too. What a shame. Oh well. Yeah, that's... Honestly, you'd think you were already planning to just keep the armor set and never compete. At least the incomplete raiment will give you an excuse so you don't feel bad about bailing. Heck, the arena master will probably even appreciate it, knowing that one of his suits was damaged in an actual life or death combat. Bon voyage, leather gloves, we barely knew ye. And again, that dance competition is going to be your only way to pay Cool Weave back if this Mage Guild heist goes horribly wrong and backfires disastrously, which we can all agree is absolutely undeniably going to happen. So, if your raiment is incomplete, the arena master will probably charge you for replacement parts, which you can't really afford, but you can probably fix these gloves. Yeah, I just need a little TLC. You put the shredded scraps of charred leather in your inventory and mark them as broken gloves to remind you what the heck they're supposed to be. You'll find some way to solve this later. Langway Biz wrote, didn't you needlessly jump out of a window at Quovi's home? Why not do it now? Yoberg wrote, "You are an experienced second floor height jumper. Now it's time to use that skill and keep the proper level of badassery." Jumping out of Quilby's window and spraining your ankle gave you just enough acrobatics experience that you know not to jump out of second story windows. This lesson was further reinforced yesterday when you broke both legs jumping off the roof of a 2-story building. Seriously, falling off buildings these last 2 days has taught you 2 very important things. First, you always land on your feet, and second, your feet hate that. If you want to get safely out through the window, you're going to need some kind of rope. The Brain Stupidities Glen wrote, "A abseil with the imps intestines." If you want to get through the window, you're going to need some kind of rope. Use the rope you got from the well to climb from the window. Ooh, right! With your inventory bar as packed as is, you almost forgot you picked up that. Oh, come on! She called you a racial stereotype for stealing that off the ground and then pickpocketed it from you? Honestly, I feel like this is probably a good stopping point. So, this has been Anachi Sasuke. I don't know what number episode this is. It's been a long time. Of Prequel. If you liked it, a like and subscribe would be groovy. If you want to click the bell, you can do that as well. And I will see y'all in the next one when Katia either gets out of this room or doesn't. Later.